All right. So I'm back in here. I I never thought I would see the day where I would be saying that StreamYard seemed to work a lot easier than YouTube. It was stuff popping up on my end when I went to do the YouTube live that I hadn't seen prior to. But anywho, what's up, family? What's up, anybody that's new here? Welcome back to Convos with Cam. And I recently just woke up from my nap. So, like, I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, it's already like a little after 2. Um, I'm a napper. So, I had a couple of meetings this morning, and then I said, you know what? I'm going to take a quick nap, right? Before I come on and talk to the family. For anybody that remembers my whole gum issue the last time we were together, and I was telling y'all how I didn't have the gum because they were going to charge $5.19. I was like, y'all can keep it. All right, y'all. So, anybody that's back, I'm glad that you're here. Anybody that's new to subscribing, I appreciate you. So, y'all saw the comment, right? You saw the topic. Now, I have to admit that I have questions, a whole lot of them, right? And lucky, lucky for me that I have enjoyed being a part of like the chats with some of our favorite content creators, where I could kind of get off my personal feelings, right? We all want to see our favorite fighters fight, right? But it's not just enough to see them fight. Anybody can, get active, get busy, whatever. But we really want to see some good fights, y'all. We want to see the best fights. As my big brother would say, the best fighting the best, right? That's what we really want to see. What's up, bro? There's my bro. What's up, family? How you doing, D-Man Jr.? I was laughing, D-Man, because I had meetings this morning, and as the morning went on and the day continued, I was like, I need a nap. So I was like, I woke up and I was like, oh crap. I said 2 o'clock. I gotta chop, get myself together, right? That's how it be sometimes. How you doing, D-Man? I hope you're well. That part. But as you can see, D-Man, I got my gum back on deck. hmm I tried to stay away from not purchasing gum. Really, D-Man? You do that. You just take a nap. See, I'm a napper. I am a big napper. I really, really am. But anywho, so what I was saying, family, was we've all been in the chats where we were able to express our grievances and our dislike for the fact that, our favorite fighters, they may not be fighting each other based on this brotherhood, right? And we expressed solely just our personal feelings about it. But then I was like, I want to just look at it from a clinical perspective. And the family has been in here with me long enough that we actually together can take a look at what I, as a professional, would observe. So, when I think of this brotherhood, we already know who's a part of this brotherhood in boxing. We know who they are. We see them all the time, right? We know about Keyshawn. We know about little Richard Hitchens or whatever his little name is. Midnight. what did they call him? I can't remember what they were calling him in the chat that day, D man, but that was funny as heck. Um, and then we have the actual cult leader himself, Shakur. Exactly. Deactivate squad, deactive squad. That's exactly what they are. And so, honestly, when I look at these young guys, these young fighters, I'm reminded of something that we've often spoke about in the chat. We've talked about it several times on the channel, like this whole idea of building one's identity based off another man. And that's what I see, y'all. Do y'all see that? I'm seeing more of a identity crisis, if you will. Think about it. We've talked about how the ability to process successfully does not become active and fully developed until people are in their close to their mid 20s, right? Of course, women a little sooner, we know that. But for men, we look at the ages of these guys. So we can't even give them that. We can't say, oh, you know, those guys, they're still, developing, the cognition, the ability to process. No, we can't say that. Mm-mm. But what I am thinking is that something happened with these fighters and their inability to establish their own identity. I wonder what y'all think. If I were to say, outside of the jokes we have on them, outside of the funny names we come up for them, but if I were to say, what could possibly be happening? Yeah, sure, we can say, yeah, I just think they're trying to stall our favorite fighter out. Yeah, because that's what we're seeing as the result, right? What we're seeing is already happened. But I truly do believe that it is something that they all may have in common. And that is the lack of a personal identity, right? Think about it. If all of them had a personal identity established with their value systems, all of those things, um, supports, natural, being family, true friends, not these ones they've gained over the years after they have gained fortune. Mm-mm. If they had those things in place, would they be so dependent on one another? I get it. As a man, you're going to have your friends, your boys, people you grew up in school with. It might be cousins, whatever, that you may be close to. But are you dependent on that relationship as a grown man? Think about it. Y'all may have the best time together. You may have great laughs, great moments, great fun. But are you dependent? Okay, let's take it a step further. Every time you go somewhere publicly, do y'all always have to be together as grown men, grown adult men? We've already looked at the science in it. We already have debunked that any of them are at ages where they're still developing. No. I know sometimes it's guys that are the same age as these fighters of deactivate squad, as D Man Jr. said, right? And they're not giving me those types of behaviors that they would be out here like, yeah, I'm gonna go to such and such, but I gotta have my boys with me. Yeah, I'm going out to get something to eat. I mean, can y'all imagine what that must look like? Think about it. Because I have an imagination, y'all. So my brain tells me I go a step further than just what we see on TV when they're at the fights and all that carrying on, whatever, or the twittering, whatever. Can y'all imagine as grown men being like, man, they got a new chicken spot up the street. Hey, can you meet me up there? All right. Hey, can you meet me at that new chicken spot? All right. And you just like literally y'all are in a group chat where every time y'all want to go somewhere, somebody's like, hey, can you meet me at such and such time? I'm telling you, I'm convinced that is a relationship. If they are or happen to be in the same vicinity or same area, I am convinced that it's a lot of dependency. Convinced. Now, can I say with absolute, that it's an absolute? No. But it's given, if you will. It's given that that's how they move. Excuse me. Um, yeah. So we have that part of it, that whole dependency piece. We've talked about that, family. That's not healthy, nor should it be normalized and encouraged. Mm-mm. No. The problem, I think, in the concern from a clinical perspective and kind of looking from the outside in, right, is all of them are enabling each other. Because typically, like I think about the people that I meet with, right? Say they do have dependency traits where they are constantly dependent on others, whether it be family, a spouse, partner, whatever. But there's somebody in this whole, ordeal that is the one who truly enables this behavior. Because what have we said? When we see things like this arise, almost like that personality type trait, it's because at one point it worked for them. The behavior worked. So they keep doing it, right? But these guys that we're speaking of, these boxers, these brothers, they all enable each other. It's no one else out here saying, yes, come on, brothers. Y'all, active squad, activate. Brotherhood, activate. Or is it? Hmm? Hmm? I think they enable each other and their fans condition the behavior. Think about it. We know what conditioning looks like. We've discussed it several times. So that means it would look like Shakur, encourages such behavior in Keyshawn. And it's just this ongoing circle, never to end. You got little Raymond just getting in where he can fit in at. I think he's just trying to still find himself, bless his heart. I don't know why I feel that way about that child. And I know he's a grown man, but then I think about me and my age. What's up, bro? How are you, Drew? So happy to see you. Drew, yes, I'm in here talking about Wactive Squad and what I think may be happening with them clinically. That's what we're doing. So I wonder, what do you think though, D Man, in that? Drew, I don't know if you're still here, but what we were saying, I was actually giving an example of how I think it may be happening in that the Wactive Squad, all of these brothers, they enable each other, and then the fans condition the behavior. I really do. Because I'm convinced that there is identity crisis that these young guys are dealing with. Hmm. Yeah. I've never seen fighters who have been so successful, even though they may not be my favorite, I still respect what they do. They're still professional boxers. Yeah. And their behavior gives that nothing they do or have accomplished, they are content with. You ever known people like that in life? Think about it. Exactly, Jose Diaz. Yeah. How are you doing? I pray you've been well. D-Man said they sick in the brain gas. I mean, I can't go as far, D-Man, to say that maybe they're like having some sort of mental health crisis or diagnosis. I'm not going to do that. And I can, yeah, we can definitely say what we're observing. Yeah, it's not given stable, y'all. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. What they are giving is that in their day to day, even though they may have significant others in their lives, that if any one of them call each other, they're like, hey, I got to take this. It's such and such. Can y'all imagine doing that this day and time as grown men? You can't be present for your family because you are that overly available for these brothers. That is weird behavior to me, family. I'm serious. I'm serious, family. So we got one thing clinically on our list. We said that it's an identity crisis. They have not successfully established their personal identity. And that is what can happen. Yeah. If you don't establish your own personal identity, that includes your values, your own strengths, right? You're going to be dependent on all of these other relationships that you develop to establish that for you. They're just as lost as you are. So who the hell would want to follow some? You see where we're going with this, y'all? Huh? Now, yeah, we can definitely get into the whole developmental stages and when they were growing up, and as far as how maybe their childhood was, right? We can get into that, but even without exploring that, we can focus on just where they are now and what we're seeing. Hmm. We can focus on that by itself. All in itself, we know that that's not what would be perceived as normal, the norms in behaviors. We know that. Why don't their fans know it? Hmm? That's a whole nother topic, right? So if we know that they're struggling with establishing their own personal identity in the identity that they are currently developing is based solely on the other brothers around them in Active Squad, then what else could be going on, y'all? Hmm? What's up, Just Do Boxing? How you been? I pray you've been well. Praying you and your family are well. Blessings to you always. Yeah. And that's why I always say that a lot of times when we examine what's happening in day to day, it's typically we get caught up in what we're seeing before our very eyes. But it's always more to it than what we're seeing. Or the truth could have been right there, but we maybe just got pulled into the other stuff or whatever may have been occurring, right? Yeah. So I'm trying to give y'all a chance because I don't want to throw all of the clinical ideologies that I have that I'm seeing and observing. Now, we've already cracked jokes, y'all. So we got to put our clinical hat on, right? What else? Outside of the obvious. Now, the obvious is, yeah, we could say, yeah, maybe they didn't have a positive male role model growing up. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the obvious, but that would be more going down that path of talking about systems and things like that. What we're looking at is what could be going on psychologically. What are their behaviors possibly telling us, right? hmm I'm convinced, y'all. That's all I can say is that I'm truly convinced that that is the lifestyle of those guys. Yep. And it's not gonna stop, y'all. Like I know we get annoyed by it. I know we're like, oh man, we about to time them out because I'm so sick of them talking about this one. Yeah, but it's not gonna stop. Think about the circle we just described. If these brothers and the need, see, that's what I'm observing. It's this need to have these brothers because it's situational. The brotherhood that Core and all of his little minions, as my mommy would say, have developed, it's really situational, is it not? Y'all correct. If they didn't have a father in their life, where are their uncles or anything else? Yeah, I'm hearing you. That part, right? But let's just look at Core really quickly. So I say that relationships, all of the relationships he has, is purely situational. To me personally, do y'all not see Core as possibly the manipulative one? Think about it. Y'all know, see, my bro. I just realized because at first I was only seeing when you were saluting Just Do. And then I saw what Jose Diaz had typed. And now I'm seeing what you said, and you actually went as far as to say, what's the clinical word? Okay, so all right, you're being serious. I'm gonna be serious with you, bro. Are you talking about the brotherhood themselves? Or are we possibly talking about the male fans that support and crash out for them? Something to think about, right? Yeah. So that's how I really see it. I see Core and his minions. Core being the ringleader by way of manipulation, because I'm not saying so much that, oh, that is what you're saying? Okay. Yes. Oh, those types of fans, I call them D-Man fanatics. Um, like guy crushes, you know how girl crushes, guy crushes, that thing. That's what I call them. Mommy. Hi, beautiful mommy. I'm so happy to see you, and I miss you. Y'all, I just saw her for darn near a week for her birthday. But I love my mommy. Jose says we need a good family. The only males that I follow my own. I follow my own. Yeah, I'm hearing you. All right, mommy. Yes, hearts back to you. Okay, so I would just say that they have these man crushes, right? That's what I would say, D man. Because I don't live with them, right? So it still is kind of like circumstantial unless they actually do something or show something. Now, what I will say is that we have observed such tendencies. Can we say that? Tendencies, maybe? Right. All right, mommy. So you're going to have fun with this one. Look at her. She's so sweet. I love her. All right. So I see, like I said, the other brothers possibly really believing that they have this relationship with Core and each other that is a brotherhood. In my perspective, and because I don't know any of these guys personally, Core gives me more manipulative and situational. I, the flavor of it that I get from him is if it works for me, I will push it. Once it is no longer working for me, then I'm done with it and I'll move on. Is that not what he did with Devin? Hello. Okay. Yeah. So even though he is seemingly the ringleader of this brotherhood, this saga, if you will, where they're just going up and down the highways and byways and picking up strays and everyone else they can to add to their little bus of brothers. I think Core is his relationship is situational, circumstantial. Bottom line is I don't think it's solid. I don't think his relationship with them that he called his brothers is solid. The beauty is that at least we know he's consistent because we still, even though we do not take away, he's a professional boxer. Like I said, we respect their profession. It's a reason that you're a professional boxer. I ain't got nothing, I'm not talking about that. But just as his relationships with these brothers at times are in question, is not his resume. Hmm? Just something to think about. So that's why I say he's consistent. He's consistent in both instances, both scenarios. But mommy, yeah, you missed what we did look at. D-Man did come up with a question. And we were talking about the fact that this brotherhood saga that we're seeing, you know, how they've just picked up little Raymond, bless his heart, Poor little kid. He's just out here trying to box. And they're like, yeah, come on over here, little bro, little son. You my pet. I don't know. But we were saying how all of these guys have proven to have possibly an identity crisis. Beautiful sis. Oh, hi, you. That's my beautiful sis right there, y'all. So happy to see you. You already know it's love within, so it's always love going out, beautiful sis. Yeah, we're over here talking about the brothers. Oh no, don't do that. Okay, I love you too. Uh-huh. All right, thank you. um, okay, so good. To the oh my gosh, D-Man, a couple of them, they're gonna get me. But I gotta make sure that my mommy and my beautiful sis is they're caught up. I gotta make sure. D-Man gonna be patient. He's not gonna say anything. Okay. So we recognize that the beautiful thing has been that all of the amazing boxing creators, our content creators that we follow and we support, have allowed the space to, just curse about these brothers, right? We've already talked about that. So, what we did in this conversation, thank you, D Man. What we did in this conversation, y'all, is we said, let's take off this hat and put on the clinical hat. And my whole point was that we've spoken about observations, and I've broken down several diagnoses, right? That what are we seeing clinically in all of this? No, we're not giving diagnoses. We're just looking at the observation, the behaviors, the patterns, if you will, right? And so the first thing we said that we observed is that all of these guys have an identity crisis. First, what we did is we said it can't be anything scientific going on. Because all of their ages, they have already surpassed the years when they talk about the development and the cognitive processing and blah, 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 right? They can't even use that as a crutch. No, they've passed that. No. We then took it a step further and we said these now are actually grown men who are dependent on each other. They have some dependency traits. And D-Man and I were in here laughing about, can you imagine like having your homeboy, guys you cool with, and every second y'all just jump on the phone. Can we let's go to that new chicken spot. That's not even the norm behavior when we even look at those ages. Or having to involve another grown man constantly in all of your decision making, even if it comes to your livelihood, because that really is what you're doing. Boxing is the profession, and you're allowing those within this brotherhood to make these decisions for you. And so what we were saying is how, yeah, we can see the result. The result is, yeah, they're trying to just stall our favorite fighters out, the ones who are actually trying to give us the fights we want to see. Oh, yeah, we see that. But I'm really looking at just what's happening in this circle. And we went a step further and we said, you know what? Okay. Really, mommy? I ain't messing with you. Huh? I can't with y'all. So, I said, this is like an infinite, never ending cycle. Because what's happening is this dependency trait that they have with one another, that they have for one another, they enable each other. Now, let's take it outside of that, because then after we said they enable these behaviors, i.e., core, key, little Richard picked up the little stray, the little pet, Raymond, and so on, right? They're enabling each other, but it's the fans who are conditioning this behavior. The fans condition it. Mhm. Sadly, but it's the truth. Is it not? Right? Yeah. So then, where y'all came in at is when we were actually saying how core is the mind and manipulator in this whole thing that's being orchestrated. That possibly these other guys may, that part, Rania, yeah, they're constantly conditioning that behavior over and over. So happy to see you. So happy to see you. Exactly, mommy. Acting like that behavior is normal, right? They're like, oh yeah, this is what happens in boxing. If you loved your fighter like I love mine, you would be supporting them the same way. Anyways, so we've already established that core is that ringleader, if you will, right? And all the other little guys, they're like, oh, I finally have a big brother. I finally have this male role model I've always dreamt of. Meanwhile, core, and this is just my opinion, y'all. That's all. It's just giving a different perspective. Core is the one who's the manipulator. His relationships are situational. His relationships that he's making, right, for from what it looks like to the eye, showing up to all the fights, he's there trying to show him how to punch in the fight, all that extra. It's all circumstantial, it's situational. Because what I said is, has he not proven that his relationships with these brothers, are circumstantial, situational, manipulative? And what do we say, family? I.e., Devin Haney. Because there was a time, let's not forget, that he was just as close to Devin. So it's going to be interesting how this whole thing is going to play out. I don't foresee it stopping anytime soon. Like I said, I am convinced they're just going to get in a bus. It's going to be a purple, pink, and a bunch of unicorns party bus. And they're going to go driving to their favorite tunes through their favorite cities. And they're just going to pick up little strays along the way. And everybody will be their brothers. And like I said, the result will be, man, they're just trying to stall this one out. No, that'll be the outcome. But Core is manipulative as hell. He likes to hide behind them dimples and all that extra. No, we're not fooled by all of that. I'm not. Nope. He wants people to feel sorry for him. Mr. Roll Tide, what's up, family? Yes, mommy, with orange dots. I see it. I wonder who would be driving the bus. Because they're quite a dependent little brotherhood. So if we had Core, Key, little Richie, and little Ray Ray, and they're all in there on the bus trying to go and pick up other brothers, I wonder who would be driving it. Oh, man. Well, family, I want to say that is our brother on? Can somebody check and see if the brother Stephen X is on now? Yes, yes, beautiful sis. Okay, so Key gonna be the driver. Now, the beautiful sis said Bitchins Hitchens. Ryan, I ain't lying. I thought about that. I really did. And I could just see him. Can't y'all see him sitting there? Y'all simmer down in the back now. Y'all. All right. Course. That's all I could see. And I didn't want to say it because I was sitting here and I was like, I'm not going to do this. And then see, we, I mean, that's what I see. Like, seriously. And these fans, yeah. So D Man is like, what do we clinically call? I mean, I just love the way he wrote it. He's like, what do we clinically call these, broken wrist individuals mhm, that support such? And obviously, we're talking about the fans. Mhm. They just have these man crushes, if you will. D Man Jr. says Schofield Senior might drive because he liked the bounce. See, see, this is why, and I'm glad that I'm so proud of the guys that were in here. Mommy, beautiful sugar free, you can be so proud of them because they did. They really were having the conversation about what it could be clinically that we're observing. But soon as we opened up them gates, they was like, "Yep, I'm going for it." Y'all wrong, and so true. And I can see it now. I can just see them little strands, braids, or whatever it is, just hanging, and he flipping it back every 5 seconds. Probably got one dripping down in his eyes. I don't have time. Not today. Ryan says it's rooted in the inception of the arena. It has always been based on broken wrist activity. That's a whole nother topic for another day, right? No, it was fine, man. That's why I said I celebrate that y'all were able to talk about the brotherhood without even going this route for so long. I was proud of y'all. Thank you, beautiful sis. I just wanted to make sure that our bro Stephen X wasn't on. They acting like that. You know why? Because there's something missing in their life guidance. I'm hearing you, right? And that's what we were saying, Jose, is that that's one of the things that we can easily see before our very eyes. Yeah, because you sitting over there envisioning Daddy Schofield. I can't with y'all. Y'all too funny. And I'm actually being really good because I started to get on a roll and my mommy knows how I am. Mm-mm. Nope. Once I start acting how he was going to be in the bus, she already knew I was about to, yep, keep going. Mm-mm. But yeah, as far as like the guidance that may be missing, male role models. Well, Nancy, okay. Does Schofield Floyd Jr. does he have any siblings? Anybody know? Does Daddy Schofield have any other children? I don't know. All I'm saying is, okay, if they're gonna have a brotherhood, I at least want them just make it a family. Maybe Daddy Schofield can take all of them. Okay, you believe sisters. Ah, Mr. Roll Tide, really? It's giving. Ryan said a strong black woman to keep these guys accountable may help also. No, and I'm hearing you, right? I'm hearing you. Yo, he making his son a daughter. All I'm saying is, okay, he can drive the bus. They can make it a cross country trip. Maybe they always want to go camping. I mean, they can make their brotherhood like the Boy Scouts. I mean, see, this is what I'm envisioning. Daryl's not in here right now. What's up, Joseph Townsend? Blessings to you as well. I'm hoping you've been well. Hoping your family's well. Yes. So when Daryl and I were talking, if some of you remember, we were over in the graveyard, and Daryl and I were laughing about how they probably just gather around the campfire and they're just telling stories and singing songs and eating s'mores and roasting marshmallows and hot dogs and paws. And I've always wanted a reason to do that. Yes, skinny margaritas, Mr. Old Tide. Okay, I really wanted the reason to do that. But anyways, and I can literally like imagine this. And that is concerning that I really can see these grown men sitting there holding it, talking about who is cold. And the other one putting the little oh God. Oh, a whole broke back home. Oh, what he said sharing sense and all. D-man, you wrong. Oh goodness, no bread. Oh no. Oh gosh. Y'all stop. Okay. No relish. Just jaws. No relish. But extra on the mayo. Pause. My gosh. My gosh. Oh, I said extra on that, D-man. That part, Ron, really, like the fact that we are even having these conversations, right? These are the conversations we're having in regards to what we're observing in boxing, y'all. In boxing. But anyways, it was a good time. I appreciate all of you. I'll see y'all out in these YouTube streets. And it's all good, D-man. I'll be messing with you. I love the family. So um, I enjoyed it. Just having a good conversation. And I also enjoy laughing. Like I said, we kept it focused as long as we could. And I love laughing. So I appreciate all of you. So grateful for all of you that could stop by. That part. And that's exactly what I'm saying. This is a conversation we're having from the observations that we've seen in our favorite sport, boxing. Wow, huh? Mommy, maybe on part 2 of the saga. As the saga continues, that's what we will call the episode. when it comes to the brothers. Instead of as the world turns or Young and the Restless, we'll say as the saga continues. My mommy waits until the end and says, I think it's because they fight so hard to validate their relationships. We'll explore that next time, beautiful mommy. I love y'all so much. My beautiful sis, you already know, D Man Jr. We had Jose Diaz in here with us. Drew Titan had stopped by. Rania, I appreciate you so much. As always, I never want to forget anyone. Mr. Roll Tide was in here. Our brother Joseph Townsend. As always, y'all, be kind, be patient, be compassionate to self, right? All of those same attributes filled with love and understanding that you extend to others, begin to extend to self, right? Be gentle, for we are all doing this thing called life for the very first time. Peace and blessings, y'all. Until next time. All right.